Welcome back. So I hope that you have Node installed on your computer at this point. And so let's now actually go ahead and use Node for the very first time. And to get started with the section, please go into the course starter files and copy this folder to your working directory. Okay? Now, if you didn't download the course files yet, please go to the GitHub repository that is linked all over the course, and you will find all the files that you need in there. Then after that, go ahead and open up the folder in your code editor. And I'm using VS Code here, and I actually already loaded it up. So here is this Node farm folder. Now in this video, we will actually not yet start with the project, but instead we're going to interact with Node using the command line. And for that, I'm going to use the built-in terminal that VS Code has, hitting Control backtick for that. So this command that you see here actually, or you can go to View and Terminal. Now if you prefer to use another application for the terminal, that's fine as well, but throughout this course, I'm always going to use the terminal that is built in right into VS Code, so that we don't have to jump around between different windows so much. Now to start writing some Node code here in a console, all we have to do is to write Node, given that you have Node.js installed on your computer, and then just hit enter. And this will then open up the Node REPL, which stands for read eval print loop. So basically here we can write JavaScript code just like in a normal terminal. For example, we can define variables, and so here it is. So we just defined the name variable, and in fact we can write any JavaScript code that we like in here. Okay, so that's because at the end of the day, Node.js is really just a JavaScript runtime, as we just saw before. So what else can we do? Well, any type of expression really will work. Let's just do some math here, for example. Okay, so any JavaScript will work. And you see that we actually defined this variable here using const. So that is ES6. And that is absolutely no problem in Node.js. So it supports ES6 in all the newer versions out of the box without any problem. That's because we're not running this JavaScript in any browser, but it will always run on the server. Okay, so in fact, we just took JavaScript out of the browser and we're running it inside of this Node application. Now, if we wanted to exit this REPL, so again, this read eval print loop that Node gives us, there are different ways of doing that. The first one is to write exit, or actually .exit. And so this exited this Node process, this REPL. And so let's start it again so that I can show you some more stuff. So again, just type Node, hit enter, and that's it. Oh, and by the way, if you want to clear your terminal like I just did, all you have to do is to hit Command K, and that will then clear up the command line. And probably on Windows, that is Control K. Okay. Anyway, we used .exit to exit the REPL, but we can also hit Control D. And that's not command, it is really control. So Control D will do the same. But let's quickly enter it again, because there's some more stuff that I want to show you. So if you hit tab right now, maybe you have to tap it twice. Sometimes that happens for some reason. But anyway, by hitting tab, you can see all the global variables that are available in Node. So you have all the kind of stuff that we're already used to, like the array constructor or the string constructor or math or a number over here. But then there's also all kinds of stuff that belongs to Node. For example, you have HTTPS and FS or crypto, and these are Node modules that we're going to talk more about a bit later in the section. But for now, you see that we have all kinds of global variables that we can access whenever we want in Node.js. Okay? Also, another nice trick is the underscore variable. So let me first show you something. So another calculation, for example, 3 times 8 gives 24. And now we can use underscore plus 6. And so this will give us 30. And so that means that underscore is basically your previous result. So we had 24, and so underscore here is 24 now. And 24 plus 6 makes 30. So if we now did underscore minus 30, that will give us 0, right? And yeah, it did. Okay, and finally, the tab that you just pressed before, you can also press that, for example, on one of these constructors that we already know, like string. So string dot, and now by hitting tab, you can see all the methods or properties that are available to us. Again, sometimes you have to hit it twice, but then here we are. So you have, for example, the length or has on property and all these kinds of methods here that we know already, right? And now to exit the REPL, remember all I have to do is to hit Control D. Okay, then Command K to clear the console, and that's it. So that's all I wanted to show you in this very first video. So basically that we can write JavaScript now outside of the browser using Node.js like this.